Welcome dreamers, I hope everybody's having an amazing weekend. In yesterday's video, we talked a bit about combat in DreamWorld and the many different enemies you could fight, as well as the different weapons you could use and how you could go about using combat to progress throughout the biomes in the game. And at the end of that video, we hinted at another building video coming up, which is what we're going to be looking at today. Today, we'll be going over building again, but this time it's going to be a little bit more than the basics. Today we'll be talking about how you can utilize all the different, special assets in DreamWorld, specifically the themed assets. We'll take a look at how you can integrate, castle build pieces, Roman architecture build pieces into your builds, and how they can add some design and flair to the build you're working on. Before we get into that though, just a reminder that if you go down to the description of this video, there will be a link to DreamWorld's website where you can take a look and download our free trial. You can play a little bit of DreamWorld if you like what you see today, and if you enjoy the trial, feel free to buy the game. You can get all that information at the website, which again, link in the description. Here we go though, today's video. Here's how to utilize themed build pieces in DreamWorld. In the basics of building, we made a pretty simple house. I used a lot of the default building pieces to make that build. We more focused on the ability to use a lot of different resources, like, the polished woods that give off the nice shine on the floors. And now that that base has been upgraded with a whole farm that has been, utilizes terraforming and has an enclosure in the back that has, wheat and berry plants, there's not a lot more that I can add to that build. So today, to explore the usage of, themed building assets, that are past the default ones, we'll be using a new build location. I wasn't sure what biome to go in, but then I remembered back when we looked at player builds, when we found that massive, mountain base that kind of reminded me of like Lord of the Rings. It looked amazing. I wanted to kind of recreate the feel of that today in a much smaller scale. Because while I do know how to build, I'm not nowhere near as good as a lot of the builders in this game. So we're gonna build right here in the side of the mountain. To start off, we have a lot of terraforming we have to get done, a lot of mining out of the mountain stone. We have to basically create a little cavern in there where we can put all of our building and, be able to build floors and all that good stuff. So let's get right to farming. Now that we have kind of an entranceway carved out, let's start making some tunnels. I'm gonna dig a tunnel that actually goes down to another little cavern. So let's dig that out real quick. All right, now we have a whole nother cavern to play with, but I'm not gonna stop there. I'm gonna make a couple other pathways here. Our first one's just gonna go straight forward from this little cavern we made at the bottom. We'll do something cool with this later. And next, I'm gonna make a whole nother winding path that actually cuts around and goes under the path we just made and then comes back up into the same cavern. Why am I doing this? Well, because I can, and it's cool. All right, there we go. It's not perfect by any means, but we have three little, hallways or, pathways we've carved out amongst the rock down here. Now let's take a look at some of the building assets we're gonna use to, mix in to our build we're gonna do in the mountain. There's these Roman build pieces like the dancer plinths and the Roman capital, as well as, castle stone pieces. And along with a lot of Roman architecture, I want to have all those eventually put into my hotbar so we can incorporate them somehow into our build. I especially like the look of the concrete castle stairs and the castle slabs. I think they're gonna fit really well with the look of what I'm going for here. I'm also gonna use mountain stone for today's build. I could use all these assets, as they are, but I wanna make sure they all have a similar look. So if we use the same resource, that should do it. All right, here we go. Let's get right to building our base. First of all, we have to put the floor down. We're gonna use mountain stone foundations for the floor. To incorporate the castle stairs into our build, I need to make sure that I have a place to put them. So what we're gonna do is we're going to actually create a small drop off here from the foundations using these fences. This way I can connect, the castle stairs to the top foundations down to this bottom level of foundation we're gonna be putting in. It'll make them snap in perfectly. And there you have it, our stone floor and castle stairs are right in place. Now we have to build a staircase going down to our lower cavern. For that, we're just gonna use a regular ramp staircase. Now to make the floor all even down here, I'm gonna mine out a little bit of the floor to fit some more stone foundations. And there you have it. We now have a small room, both upstairs and downstairs. But now let's focus back on the entrance to the build. For a big mountain base, I want a big stone door. So today we're gonna look at how we can actually use the build system to play with the size of building pieces. So if you take, a build piece and you hit, up or down on the directional arrows on your keyboard, you can use extra or less resources to make your build pieces bigger or smaller. Hence how I was able to make this massive stone door to, sit at the front of my build. Now let's start adding some of the build pieces to our hotbar. We'll use these Roman dancer and red pillars to start, as well as the castle slabs from before. When someone enters the build, I want them to be greeted by these, towering pillars. So let's use the red pillars, combine them with mountain stone, and we're gonna make them bigger and put them at the front of the build, right near the door. I thought about using enlarged castle slabs, but then I decided, put them down to normal size and I can use them for, kind of cool fencing pieces to put around, to kind of give the build a better sense of containment and have it look like it has more structure. Let's also put some of these downstairs in the second room. Now that we have our walls up, let's put some decorations on them. We'll take the dancer pillars and just kind of put them at the ends of these, slabs. Just for decoration, I think it looks pretty nice. I'll also put these Roman marble columns downstairs. I just want to vary up the build pieces and see how many of these, pieces I can integrate really into the build. We're also gonna throw some castle rocks on the castle slabs right now. We're gonna make kind of a gallery build down here. It's just a creative idea I have. You'll see it in a second. Now that we have most of the build together and we've used, most of the mountain stone pieces that are gonna be put down, I wanted to get a few other resources that were smelted that we can kind of incorporate into the look of the build. So I got some smelted green and blue crystals as well as smelted gold to actually use as for building assets. I like these resources because they give off like a nice shine and they really draw your eye. When you see something gold, it's like, ooh, and the crystal pieces, I think, look really cool as well. I'm also gonna smelt up a few more, just in case we need them. Now, to fill these castle stones, I'm gonna use this Japanese statue here, as well as the Roman woman head. I also have some pottery build pieces, like this clay bowl, and then I also saw these skinny Roman column pieces, so I added them to my build bar, because maybe I'll use them later. Now, having a look at the statue, I thought maybe I'd use it as its, default look, but I wanted to have it feel like an artifact, so of course I use smelted gold. In fact, I decided to do that for all of the pieces I'd be using on these, castle stones. I then decided to put those, skinny pillars up by the castle stairs. I actually used their default look because I don't know, I felt that they fit kind of well still, and I didn't want everything to be made of stone. I then went back to my house build and I made plenty of wood torches because I want to get a lot of interesting lighting in the caverns of my new build. First up, for the entryway, I want to use smelted blue crystal torches. I thought a little bit about, the different kinds of resources I could use, but I wanted to have a blue shine when you first enter my base because I just like the color blue. I think it's a really cool color. And there you have it. We have successfully lit the front cavern. I love how the blue light dances off the walls. Ooh. I then added some more Roman pieces here, at the staircase of the entryway. And I put some, crystal statues on top of them. You'll see why in a little bit. I then went back to the straight tunnel we made before in the lower cavern and got it ready to be made into a hallway. I linked some new green crystal foundations to the old mountain stone foundations we just put down for the floor in the regular room and made a bit of like a crystalline tunnel. I wanted this part to feel kind of otherworldly, like, oh, you stumbled upon like a lost artifact or something. And what artifact did we put into this tunnel? Well, a pumpkin, of course. Halloween's coming up. Gotta use a pumpkin, and it's gotta be gold, of course. I then put some more Roman build pieces in front of the hallway, using smelted green crystal as well. And yes, this is why I put smelted green crystals at the top of the staircase to kind of foreshadow what you'd be finding below. And then to top it all off, I put smelted green crystal torches right on those slabs I put down. I wanted, to create a good sense of lighting down here, and I think that the green light dancing off the walls looks really good, especially with the crystal tunnel there. I then also put smelted red crystal torches at the base of the staircase leading down here to create some diversity in the lighting. And there you have it. That is the entire mountain build that we have made, where we were able to use lots of different themed build pieces, not just the default ones, to create this build. Whether it was castle pieces, Roman pieces, or like that Japanese statue piece, we were able to, kind of blend everything together to create an interesting build. You can see that for yourself right now. If you happen to be in DreamWorld, take a look at these coordinates. That's where the build's gonna be. I'll keep the front door open. Feel free to come on and explore the build if you're in game. But thank you everybody so much for watching today's video. I know I personally still have more build pieces I have to unlock, but this just kind of gives you an idea for some of the pieces that you can use that are unique from the default ones. And again, you can use any resource you want to actually make builds with these pieces. Another reminder that in the description of today's video, there is a link to our website where you can download DreamWorld, the free trial, or you can buy the game. If you like what you see in today's video, we'd love to see you in game soon, and maybe even see some of the builds that you make, whether it be just a regular house build or in the side of a mountain like we did today. Thank you so much for watching, Dreamers. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, and we will hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.